Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome back to the It's Just Us Podcast. My name is Emmanuel Wallace, and we're starting something new. Today, we begin a new series. I know the past 5 seasons we've been reading our books, but I kind of felt a pivot. I was in prayer the other day, and just praying for direction on what to do and what to talk about, really. I mean, I've read the books, I've talked about them, expound a little bit. I know I only went through 5 books, but I figured, what if we talked about the process behind the book more than we talked about the book? Because then I'm not spoiling it for you. You know, a lot of times we hear people talk about their books, but not really the process behind it, the story, the days, the hours, the moments you spent writing it, the points, the moments that hit hard, the ones that speak to you, that spoke to me as I wrote it. And it kind of gives you I wouldn't say a bird's eye view, but a personal view into this little nagi of mine, this head, because there is a lot that goes on in it. There's a lot that goes into these books. There's a lot of time, energy, effort, lots of prayer, and it truly does challenge me when I write these books, because it causes me to look deeper into the things I'm talking about, because you don't want to just be talking about nothing, you know what I'm saying? And realizing that my books, like, as I've grown, as I've written, I've been doing this for about 6 years now, just writing in general. And then Dream Publications has been a thing for 6 years, but it hasn't been where it is now. It's like, it's a baby, still growing periodically, slowly but surely. Now we do more editing and helping other people write their books. But so this segment called The Process Behind the Writer, I'm just gonna call it Behind the Writer, and this is where I'm just gonna tell you how it goes. Like, talk to you about my processes, talk to you about how I write books, how they come to me, the ideas and what I do with them, just building on those things, and kind of just giving you an avenue to me, I guess, and to these books, the heartbeat behind the books, I guess. The target audience for these books are people who are beginning their walks with God, new believers, people who need something that'll encourage and uplift them, that'll keep them going on their journey, that'll challenge them, that'll make them look inwardly, ask tough questions, sometimes the ones we don't want to ask right away. What I like to ask a lot is why. And when we know the why behind we know the why behind how and the way we pursue God, it really does change the way we do things, change the way we think about things. So for me, it's always a question of, how can I help somebody who's just starting out see the benefit and the beauty of their walk with God? And then recently, I've been doing a lot of discipleship work, a lot of Bible studies, a lot of connecting with people in my city. In West Bend, we have a Bible study going on. We're doing more outreach. We're going to be focusing on that within the next few months, just really learning how to invest in other people. That has been something that's been a challenge for me, but also a joy for me as well. It's been something that I feel like God has been drawing me to do, which is to really get out of my box, get out of my comfort zone, get beyond the 4 walls of my apartment, because my apartment is where we do the group Bible studies, but now we want to go further. We want to reach more people with the gospel, of course. We want them to experience God's presence and love. We want them to receive the Holy Ghost, be baptized in Jesus' name. We want them to pursue a walk, but not just a walk, but a genuine, intentional relationship with God. One that is personal, because it is personal, but also biblical. One that follows principles written out in the Bible. I've been working with my brothers, sisters, and some of our friends on doing this and growing this, because it is important to me that we reach. It's important to me that other people have what we might not have had in the beginning. So I'm excited to be doing this, to be a part of this, to be sharing with you, once again, the process behind why and how I write these books. Just really everything. I'm excited to go into the background, the deck, the shadows, the parts that you don't see. You see the product, the end product, but you don't really see the process behind it. So I'm excited to share that with you. You'll hear a lot more about our Bible studies and stuff, because a lot of the ideas I get for these books are from Bible studies, or are from prayer, or just random moments, and I'd like to tell you guys about those as well, like how these things even came to be. Like, a lot of these are just like random ideas, but I'll get into that later. This is the intro video. So welcome to our new segment, Behind the Writer. So I guess this one will start off with a poem, and then I'll tell you a little bit about me, and yeah, we'll just go from there. So the poems are something new that I started about a season and a half ago. I just wanted to try something new. If you like these, leave a comment, leave a like. And it's just a way for me to continue to be creative, continue to use one of the gifts God gave me, and also just to uplift you and challenge you with these, because I think poetry is another beautiful way of expressing yourself, and especially if you can express yourself for God, why not? You feel me? So this one is called Text from God. Now, I wrote this one on the 14th of February. I'll say it's kind of incomplete, but I like the message, so I'm gonna do it anyway, okay? So, text from God. If I got a text from God, I don't care what it says, I'd never let it go. If I received a call from my Father, how would I respond? Would I be happy? No, I'd be overjoyed. I'm not an employee. You don't treat me like another unit deployed. Hey son, wanna talk? That's all you'd have to say, and I'd drop all my plans, refuse any engagements, take a stand, phone in hand, running to a quiet place that I can hear the phone buzz. That'd be enough. I'd respond in a flash, yes. So simply, I'd turn my attention from everything to just him. I don't want anything more. I want to have a conversation. Prayer is the only lifeline I have where I can come and declare, Papa, I need you. I need your voice. Speak to me. I feel you so closely and I don't want to leave. Stay with me. Let me dwell in your presence. Let me stay in your hand. Why? I love you. I need you. I can't do anything without you. One text. No. You gave me the word. Your spoken and written word, that's enough. More than enough. If I got a text from God, I don't care what it said. I never let it go. If I receive a call from my Father, how would I respond? Speak to me. So imagine you got a text from God, bro. Like, it would be amazing. Like, if it was literally a text from heaven, one that you didn't expect, but it came anyway to your phone, and it says, hey, I want to talk, and this is from God. I don't know if that many of us would be like, oh no, I don't want to answer that text. I don't want to answer that text, because for someone to take that time, even if it's just a moment, to reach out and say, I want to talk to you, that means a lot. I don't know about you guys, but I like sending texts first. I send a lot of the first texts and conversations, and I realize that the more I do it, the more I desire for someone to do the same for me. And that's real. Because I know there's people out there who send the first text more than everybody else does. And there comes a time where you need somebody to reach out to you, and you don't know if it's gonna come. And you don't know whether or not anybody cares to do the same thing. But when it happens, the way it makes you feel, it's like an explosion of joy. Like, oh, someone wants to know about me too. I spend all my time getting to know everybody else, but now someone wants to get to know me. Someone wants to know how I'm doing, and I can tell you. Now imagine if this is a person that, though they may know everything about you, they're still willing to say, I want to talk to you anyway. I want to know more about you. I want to hear it from your voice, from you. Because God knows everything, but he still gives us the opportunity to tell him, because he wants a relationship with us. And a relationship where there's no communication back and forth, it's not a relationship. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's powerful, because a lot of us want to be heard. A lot of us want to be seen, want to feel like we're not the only ones trying in relationship with our friends, with our families, with the people closest to us, with our leaders at work, people surrounding us. We don't want to feel like we're the only ones trying. So when God reaches to us, and I mean, he already has. He gave us the Bible, his word. He gave us community in the church. He gave us the Holy Ghost, his Spirit. it speaks to us. He's given us everything we need, all the tools we need to hear his voice. And he doesn't just stop there, but he also speaks to us individually. He speaks to us through signs. He speaks to us through moments, through other people, through visions, through dreams, through his voice. He shows us every day that he cares. And sometimes that's all we need to know, is that if anybody cares, God cares. If anybody's going to reach for me, God's reaching. If anybody's going to ask me how I'm doing and want to know, it's God. And he's not waiting for me to tell him. Well, he is waiting for me to tell him because he wants to hear it from me. He's not going to make me do it. He's asking me to do it. He's asking me to trust him with my heart. So if God were to send me a text saying, hey, I want to talk, I'm not going to sit there and say, nah, I'm good, I'll wait. But if he wants to speak to me and he wants me to speak to him, let's have a conversation. What do you want to say, Lord? What do you want to do in me? How do I navigate this? Like, things get hard, and sometimes you just need a voice or an ear present in your life. One that you can speak to and they can speak back to you. Because I know for those of us who do a lot of the initiating, it can get hard when it feels like you're the only one pouring. It's good to be poured back into. And sometimes that is in a secret place. I won't even say sometimes. It's always going to start in a secret place with God. Because people will pour into you, yes, but there's nothing like a spiritual infilling, a pouring that God gives, of love, of peace, of joy, of comfort. Those are things only he can give in his fullest capacity. And he uses people sometimes to pour into you. So, like I said, he speaks in different ways. So never limit God to what we think he's capable of, because what we think he can do, think bigger. He can do bigger than that. So, welcome to Behind the Writer. My name's Emmanuel Wallace. I already spoke for 12 minutes, so if you got this far, thank you. But yeah, if you don't know me, I am 23 years old now. I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I live in West Bend, Wisconsin. I've been here now the majority of my life. I started writing when I turned 15 years old. I started off with poetry. Most of my poetry was not Christian poetry. It was just a way for me to vent and express myself, because I had a lot of pent-up thoughts and a lot of pent-up opinions. I didn't speak much. I was quiet. Most people you meet now that know me, they'll call me a yapper. But I was a quiet kid. I was quieter than most. Had thoughts, never told anybody. So the first avenue for me was writing. And in that time, I was going through just a lot of mental battles against myself. Like, who am I? Didn't know who I was. What's my purpose? Didn't know my purpose. And then I was just mad at the world. I'm like, everything's crazy. There's no point to this. It's just stupid. I thought everything around me was stupid. That was my word. Stupid. And it just bothered me because I saw it every day. I went to a public school my entire life, and I thank God for it, because it showed me some things, gave me perspective, and it challenged me to uphold my integrity. Thank God for that, because if it never challenged me to uphold my integrity, I wouldn't know how valuable integrity really is. So I thank God for that. So I went to public school my entire life, started off with poetry. It was my way of venting, and then God used it to heal me. It really healed me. It helped me just get some things that I didn't want to talk about off my chest. And when I began to direct those poems to him, that's where things began to change, because instead of just vent sessions, they became genuine reaches for God. Like, I need help. Like, I need you. I need your hand. I want to love you. I want to have you in my life. I just don't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had journals, multiple journals, and I was reading them. I've read them in the past. It's just like, at the end of every one, it always mentions something about wanting God in my life, wanting Jesus in my life. And I even realized it started that early. Most of the time, I bring it back to 15, but it was like 13 and on up. And God's been working in my life that long. He's led me this far. He's brought me this far, to the point where 99% of my poems are about him. They're pointing to him. They're faith-driven poems, and I thank God for that, because, yeah, he really transformed the way I write. I wrote a few fiction books. You probably don't know that. I started off writing fiction books. Started off with one interpretive story called Myself. I won't get into that one yet. And I wrote one called Shadow Island about ninjas. I wanted it to be, it was the longest book I ever wrote. Actually, 257 pages. I wanted to see how long I could make it. And it was something. It was something. It was the first work. And then my longest ever poem was one poem. I think it was like 27 topics called The World. And that was just me venting my thoughts about the world. It's like, I've been writing poetry. Poetry was my starting point, and it's still something I do to this day because it's just another way that I express myself, and it's something that I found to be just beautiful because poems convey a message much deeper than the words on the page. Just gotta look for it, and that's what I love about poetry. I went on to write Freedom, which is a testimony-based book, because I thought that in today's day, it's hard to hear the stories of people your age. I am a young adult, so for me, I don't hear a lot of my peers' testimonies, and I mean, one day we're all gonna get older, but I wanted something that we could look back on, but not just that, but something that people, especially people starting off in their walks with God, could read and say, I'm not alone here. Like, I've been through that. I've seen that in my life. Maybe not the exact same way, because we don't all have the same story, but I've seen that. It makes sense. Like, I can relate to that. And that was the whole intent and purpose behind that book, was to really connect people with their stories. Like, this is not too far from my story. Like, I'm not alone. I never liked seeing the person alone at the table, because I remember what it's like to feel alone at the table. And that's why I wrote that book, so people didn't feel alone. So that when you read it, you see that, okay, there's a starting point, and then it's a progressing point, because it's not a finished book. Because we're still here, and we're still walking, and God's still working in our lives. And then we went on to Freedom at the Edge of This Side of Heaven. And then those two books, I don't even know how I got that far. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'll tell you those later. That I went on to write. So This Side of Heaven, At the Edge, and then Your God-Given Dream were the next ones. And I believe there's another poetry collection. There probably wasn't. Then we had If I'm Honest. Then I got into Bible studies. Like, this is when I first started teaching Bible studies. So Our God-Given Dream, Our Dream in God's Eyes, and then Relationship Goals. These they were inspired by teaching Bible studies, we'll get into later. But so far I've written 11 books. I have 2 more in progress right now. I've helped people write 4 books so far. So yeah, I started this as an official publishing company 2 years ago. So that has been a journey for me. Yes, it's been a journey for me, but it's been a joy as well. So I'm 23, grew up in Milwaukee, live in West Bend right now, went to public school, started off with poetry, and I'm a thinker. Yeah, so that's a lot about me. I played basketball back in the day, so I'm a hooper. If you catch me at the YMCA at 7 a.m., yeah, that's where I'm at, usually. What else I like to do? I like to read. I read a lot of books. I stopped for a little bit and I started back. I like anime. I watch anime, a little bit of anime. But I really like art. Like, I like people. I like talking to people. I like connecting to people. So if it's a walk, if it's bowling, if it's food, I love food. I think we all love food. I love Bible studies. I love reading the Bible. I love praying. And it's not weird at all. I love it. It's just something I love to do. I like talking to myself in my car, talking to God in my car. Yeah, I'm more or less an introvert, but I can be extroverted when necessary. So if you ever see me in public, you can say what's up, because I'll say what's up back. But yeah, that's just a brief intro of me. You'll get to know more about me as we talk about the process behind the writer. But I just wanted to give you kind of a short, quick 20-minute overview of who I am. So yes, my name is Emmanuel Wallace, 23 years old, leader and founder of Dream Publications and the Dream Chaser Nation. You probably see me repping a shirt or two every now and then. Merch is coming soon. But yeah, also I'm a part of the Winning West Bend Bible study group and just outreach group here in West Bend. You see us around the city if you live out here doing more outreach. So if you see us, feel free to say what's up. We'd love to talk to you, love to connect with you, love to see you at our Bible study, man. It'd be a joy to have you here. And thank you for listening this far. Welcome to Behind the Writer with me, Emmanuel Wallace. Peace.